What's up guys? Today we're going to take a look at Vivibright's F40 1080p projector. Before we jump into this, if you're interested in all things audio and video, like this projector, then consider subscribing for new weekly videos. Now this is a very entry-level projector I feel can work well for those folks that want to dip their toes into getting a larger-than-life movie watching or video gaming experience at home. So shout out to Vivibright for sending this over so we can give it a once-over. Now let's get this thing unboxed, get it set up in the home theater, and I'll give you some of my thoughts on the performance. Inside we get the power cord, a remote control, cleaning cloth, and the manual. The F40 retails for $230. It's a native 1080p projector with 4200 lumens of brightness. That sounds pretty crazy, huh? Lamp life, since it's using a white LED light source, is quoted at 50,000 hours, so this should last you a very long time. On the front of the unit is the IR sensor and the lens. On the bottom is a little kickstand to angle the projector upwards if need be. Around back, you get two USB inputs, an HDMI in, and an optical digital output. There's also a 3.5mm output. On the right side, you have the power button and the navigation keys. Alright, now as a reference point, my normal projector is a Sony 695 ES 4K projector that retails for 10 grand. So obviously this won't come close to that in performance, but this will give me a baseline on what the Vivibright's image quality will be. The screen that's being used in the video is a Stewart film screen with a 1.0 gain. The distance from the projector to the screen is 11 feet, which will get you about 100-inch screen size. Keep in mind that this is a fixed lens, so there is no zooming in or out. Okay, let's run through some of the setup options. When you first power it on, the light on the top will go from red to green, and you'll hear that little sound. If you're wondering, yes, that's the fan. It's kinda loud and it's always at the same level, so no matter what setting you use, it's just always loud. Now this is the main screen. If you have a USB stick with media on it, you can choose from videos, music, or photos to view on the projector. But let's check out some of the settings. Depending on where you're located, you'll get a bunch of different languages to choose from. Here you have your various picture modes. You can change color temperature here. There's an aspect ratio setting. I just kept this on auto the whole time. Reduced display should extend lamp life up to 50,000 hours. I believe at 100%, lamp life is at 20,000 hours. But I'll be honest, changing this setting didn't seem to dim the image at all, so I'm not sure exactly what it's doing. Alright, now we have some sound settings. The projector does have two 10-watt speakers built in case you don't have a dedicated audio system. We have more options for surround sound using the speakers, and there's even an optical output setting. And there's a flip setting for however you got this thing installed. Now to get the image lined up properly, you can adjust keystoning by turning the dial until it's straight. To get the focus right, just turn the other dial until the image is nice and sharp. Now one issue I noticed right away is that no matter how good you dial in the focus, the outer perimeter of the image is always slightly out of focus. And the more you use keystoning, the blurrier it gets. So ideally, you want to be sure the keystone dial is set dead center. You could feel a little stop when the dial is right in the middle. Okay, for most of my testing, I played mostly movies on this using the built-in speakers. You don't get any real stereo separation, but it does get pretty loud.
The world has changed. None of us can go back.
Black levels, if you can tell by the video, is decent for an ultra-budget projector, and it gets the job done. I mean, black levels can be a mixture of muddy with a bit of crush thrown in, so expecting excellent shadow details should really not be a high expectation. Colors are rich with some good saturation, although around the outer edges where I mentioned the softness, colors will bleed into each other since the lens just isn't perfect. Of course, you can always adjust color to your liking by going into the setup menu. Sharpness, however, does look really good in the middle of the image, so I really didn't have too many complaints there. For video gaming, since I'm not really an avid gamer, but as far as I can tell, everything seemed fine. I suppose if you're really hardcore into gaming, then you might notice some issues, but for me, everything was all good. Okay, so the question is, Who's this projector for, and should you buy it? So let's get this out of the way. This is clearly a budget projector in every sense of the word, but there is a specific target audience for this. If you're not a discerning video enthusiast, if you're tight on a budget, this could be your first step into the world of front projection. This can get you a huge image that's decent looking. If you want to grab this to get a much more immersive movie watching experience, more so than you would with a TV set, this will accomplish that. This worked fine for video gaming, although if you're really competitive, you may want to look into getting a higher end projector. But this projector isn't for those intense gamers, or like I said, the discerning videophile. Black levels are just okay, and colors are okay too. There are some issues with image uniformity due to the lower cost lens, but given the price, it shouldn't be a surprise. It's portable if you want to take this on family vacations, or if you want to have a movie night outside. It's so low cost, if it were to get damaged on these family functions, you could just buy another one. So I mean, for less than $300, that's a small investment for the versatility and the enjoyment that you can get from this low-cost projector. Did I mention that you can even use this with the lights on? This thing is actually pretty bright. Well, alright, that's all I got for now. If you guys are interested in picking this up, I'll leave a link for it down below in the description. Leave us a comment and let us know what you think about these entry-level projectors. Would you buy one? Be sure to follow us on social media, and if you want to support the channel and get exclusive content and giveaways, then stop by our Patreon page. Give us a like if you found the video useful, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys again in the next one.